Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a fantastic Friday here on Dolphin Thirsty Network. And as you know, yesterday was the official NFL schedule release. And there had been a couple before, obviously, with the Germany and Black Friday games for the Dolphins had come out prior. But now it's all official. And you can see there the home games, I have the home in white, so it stands out. And then I put like the Germany in yellow, so that stands out. But anyway, it's a tough schedule, and I'm going to bring in Justin here in a minute. But there's no excuse for this year's Dolphin team not to do very well, and I think Justin will agree. Hey, Justin, I think we're past the excuse stage of it's a tough schedule. This team is built to win now, and when you're built to win now, it doesn't matter what team's on the slate. You just got to go out there with the intention that you're the better team.
It's crazy because right before we came on, I was having my coffee. Oh, my daughter. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem.
Looking at
Okay, do what you have to do, and I will go over the schedule
you're fine,
with some
bro.
people.
We're good. I was like having my coffee, looking at everything, and I'm like, oh man, I honestly don't see what all the hubbub is about why they think the schedule's so hard. I mean, we know who we play twice. Obviously, everybody in our division twice. And then you have the reason why I think they're saying it's the strength team. It's such a hard schedule is because you got the Black Friday game, then you got the Germany game. You got the Sunday night football games on there, the Monday night football game on there. I mean, look, that's actually what I think is I think it's kind of refreshing, to be quite honest with you.
Like, and
you're going to be.
I think you and I talked behind stage. We both agree. We like that, even though they're tough at the end of the schedule. But we got 4 of the last 5 games at home at the Rock, and I like that. But yes, I mean they're all very tough teams that we're facing. I mean the Titans are no slouch, the Jets are no slouch, the Cowboys are no slouch. Then it's at Baltimore, but then back home against, of course, the tough Buffalo Bills, which could have division implications on the line if all goes right this year for the Dolphins and we're as solid as we want. So it should be a good run through the schedule. And there's no reason for any excuses. I expect the Dolphins. I'm not going to go there because believe me, if I knew how to break down each one, who was going to win each week and whatever, I wouldn't have had work for 20 something years before, having a pension, I would have been out there gambling. I have no clue, but there's no excuse that when you overlook, there should be 10. I don't know where those 10 wins. At a minimum, you need 10 or 11 wins if you're going to have a successful.
Well, bring up the schedule real quick again.
Oh, of course.
Right there, what you had. So if
you want the exact dates of the games, they're out there, but I have them. I always have another banner, but it didn't come out. It's nice, and so I just snatched it.
And before I get into this, don't you forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
Oh yes,
thank
you.
Don't forget to tell a friend and tell another friend, and check out dolphinsthirsty.com for great content, quizzes, and obviously all this good stuff like this. If you look at the very top, it's crazy because I started right at the top. I'm like, oh, here they go again. Whoever's making these schedules is out of their minds. They got us starting, with all those road games, Chargers at Patriots. Then the home opener versus the Broncos. Jalen and his brother Jaquan McMillan will probably be there at the game. I know Jalen will be at the game. Shout out to you guys. Big ups to you, Jalen, coaching down there too as well. Then you got the Bills at the Bills. You know what I mean? It's like 3 out of the first 4 games. Again, that seems to be the routine for the schedule makers is the Dolphins being on the road for the first 3 out of the 4 games. That's fine. I mean, that's that's probably another reason why they consider it to be such a hard strength of schedule, which, okay, I see that. You're going to get Herbert versus Tua to the beginning of the week. G-Man, what's up, bro? My dog in the house.
Yes, and then, so it's Ender there.
And Ender in the house. What's up, bro? I think there might be a surprise for Ender in this. I got a package in. There might be something in there. I'll let you know. Then you got obviously the Patriots at the Patriots on Sunday Night Football. Mac Jones versus Tua and the rest of the Dolphins. Going to be a great game. The home opener versus the Broncos. Russell Wilson versus Tua. Then you go to Buffalo, Allen, the Bills. Back home, just 2 games there for the Giants. And then the Panthers will be maybe a rookie quarterback by week 6 in there too, right? Which you got Bryce Young. Maybe Bryce Young, 2 Alabama kids going head-to-head there, Young versus Tua. You got some intrigue and some stuff right there, right? back to week 7, and you get yourself the Eagles, the Sunday night game versus the Eagles, who are coming off of going to the Super Bowl. Then your second game versus the Patriots, which would be at home. And then the Germany game. And then you're going to go on the road to the Germany game versus Kansas City. And this is supposed to be a home game for Kansas City. I heard this yesterday when I was driving around on I like to listen to sports radio.
Yeah, so do I.
I was listening to some sports radio, and they're like, "This will be a home game for Kansas City." And in my mind, I'm like, it kind of sets up good for the Dolphins. I think it sets up well. And then you get I would have loved to have like a week bye week in like maybe like week 12 or 13, but hey, week 10's not bad. About halfway through, just about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then you get that, like I said, actually, look, I see a typo on your stuff right here, bud. Week 11, you have Patriots at home. Then you have the Patriots at home at week 8.
Oh, yeah, no,
yep.
Yeah, you're right. No, where do I have the Patriots twice? I'm sorry.
You have them 3 times on there. Week 8.
Oh, my God. Okay, yeah, I'll go back and fix the week.
Week
8
11 and week 2. So I forgot who the game is after the bye. I don't think it's obviously not the Patriots. It's somebody else. But then you got the at the Jets, which is the Black Friday game. It's the Raiders, I think.
Yeah, week 11's the Raiders.
Yep. So there you go. At the Raiders, bro. Then after you got done with that,
no, the Raiders are at home, so
that's a home game.
Yeah, the Raiders is a home game. I just messed up on that nice list. I have to redo it, but no problem. But yeah, so we got the Raiders on that week 11.
I think I missed a Washington game in there. No, never mind. No, you didn't. I see it. It's right there. I see the way the schedule is looking on there now. And then you got the Jets, obviously, which is the blackout game. Then the Commanders. And are those bye weeks or are those home games? No, it's a Thursday night game. No, it's a Monday night football game versus the Titans. That's going to be a showdown right there, depending on where they're at with their quarterback situation.
Right.
Then, obviously, you got the Jets, which I thought this was kind of cool to see on the schedule because we haven't played them in a little while, which is the Cowboys. And it's on, look, it is. It's on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, it's on Christmas Eve.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. I think there's a lot of cool stuff on this schedule as far as like it being – it's not a normal looking schedule. I don't see why they say it's the strength of schedule is number 2. I don't care what the strength of schedule is. Go in there and play. You got to win these games in December, which looks like they're going to be what? The Jets, Dallas, Baltimore, Buffalo. Something like that.
Yeah, that's back. Now I got this one back up there. Yeah, so maybe it's a little easier to read. I just have to. I know now I'm going to go fix week 11. But thanks for pointing it out. So
sorry I didn't see that earlier.
No, I know. Hey, no, it's fine, man. It's good. It happens, man. When you're a one-man show, you're editor and doing all of it. So, but it's good. Anthony, we'll bring you in, but it may be a short-lived. We got other guests coming in. Let me invite and anyone in that happens to be coming in. I'm going to invite Anthony in real quick.
Right.
But like I tell him, we got your Colorado. We're going to have some Colorado Longhorns coming in here in a little while, hopefully. And they're going to talk football and give us an outside perspective on what they think of the Dolphins schedule.
Well, one of them's a Dolphins fan, so I know he's probably already taking a look at this schedule for sure. But I don't know where they're at. I told them to be in here. It's like kind of like one of those days where it's cloudy and rainy over here, so everyone's probably like sleeping around.
Here comes Anthony. Stuff. Hey, Anthony.
Hey, fellas. Honestly, for me, I agree with Justin. To be honest, the strengths of schedule thing is something only hyped up by the fans.
Yep.
Because when you look at it, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, the Dolphins had the perceived toughest schedule and ended up being easier than we thought. It was the year with I think it was a second or third year with Flores that we had like the perceived first toughest schedule, then it ended up being easier because the teams were bad or whatever.
I remember.
There was only 2 teams that ended up making the playoffs on our schedule. and stuff like that.
No, you're 100% right, and that's what I even say all the time, because it's based on last year's teams either get better sometimes that you think, oh, they're not going to be that tough. The Panthers could come in and be a kick butt team, and you're like, oh, that's an easy. And then some of the teams that we think are going to be awesome may have a drop back. People get injured. They're not playing good football for whatever reason. So yes, I agree with you guys 100% with this. It's hard to base on. Give me after like week 10, then you start saying when they start doing the playoff race. Then the less it'll be maybe, because then you're basing it on this year, like, oh, okay, these teams are playing well this year.
It reminds me of last year when everybody, all the big talking heads, the Stephen A. Smiths, the big Schwagoos, and all these guys were talking about football, and they were all like, oh man, that AFC West is gonna be something else. It's gonna be a shootout with Mahomes and Carr and Herbert and Russell Wilson just got traded over to the Broncos. That's the toughest division in football. And it ended up being the AFC.
I know everyone was talking up. And thank you, man, for subscribing. Thank you so much. Thumbs up to you. Awesome.
Yeah, and to be honest, when I look at that schedule, I think the first within the first seven.
Get him, Leo.
The first 7 games, I think we go 4-3. To be honest,
that's it, bro.
Well,
I want 7-0, dog.
No, because people are being like, our fan base is being overly excited. They're saying we're gonna blow out the Chargers and the Bills. I'm like, what are you guys? I'm like, what are you guys smoking, man? They have a better quarter. I know he hasn't won a playoff game yet, but he's a more consistent and healthier quarterback.
You're right. That's definitely.
I just remember what they did to us last year is they had guys play cover man press outside and bump everybody.
That's the one thing I'm worried about with our quarterback. Let's see if he can adjust.
Yeah. That's it. That's what we're counting on. We have to, supposedly we're sitting on a gold mine according to McDaniel, and this is the time for Tua.
Yeah, honestly, sometimes I feel McDaniel's just, I'm going to use this word, coach speak. He wants to motivate his player to do better, but I don't.
Of course, that's what he does, but
like, sorry.
No, I agree. And the Chargers game is not going to be any cakewalk, and that's why one of our new subscribers, Lil, said week 1 we need to win it, a statement game. It's not about blowing them out. It's about coming out ahead 28-27 because they miss a freaking extra point somewhere in the game. I don't care. You got to come out and win the game.
Yeah, no, and for me, this is where I feel what's going to happen with that game specifically. I think honestly, I feel that we lose the first game of the season because I think
it's good. I know it's so early to say now, but I agree. But we don't know how it's going to shape up. But yes, that is a lot tougher game than a lot of fans.
And then they're saying we're going to blow out the Bills. I'm like, they only lost one player. They only lost one player on their defense, and I know Tremaine Edmonds is a important part of their defense, but
no.
Yeah, let's not act like
long season.
They haven't been torturing us the past 5 years, man. Let's take the fandom out of it and the delusion out of it and be realistic.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Just like my boy, shout out to Gino, my boy, my dog down there. It would be like all the ham and eggers out there talking about how the Dolphins are going to do this and doing that. Everyone's just a little bit pumped up on their team, as everybody is around this time of year. I don't care if you're a Panthers fan, a Texans fan.
Oh, of course, everyone.
I want to be realistic.
Hold on, let me cook here real quick. Everyone's 0-0. Everybody has that hope of getting everything in there. So the Dolphins fans are always like that. We're a little bit overexcited. Even me and Rob have talked about this numerous times. Like, I'm not going to get too overly excited the way I did last year and let these dudes get me all tear jerky, holding on to a hope that ain't going to be happening. So
no, and Rob,
play the game and figure yourself out. Then when we get into week 6, I'll tell you then. But But I'll say this: I'll try to make it as as sweet and short as possible. The best way to start a season, everybody knows it's football 101, is you want to start the season off with a win. You want to go into the bye week with the win. You want to come out of the bye week with the win, and you want to end the season off with a win.
I've noticed with the Dolphins the past few years, we've never been good off the bye for some reason. Like we go into the bye winning, but we end up having like a losing streak or something during the bye, after the bye.
Last year
they did good. They went one going into the bye and they won coming out of the bye. It was just that Texans game that after the bye is when things got really crazy. Remember, I told you guys, I was like, oh, they better get this thing fixed. They let them come back in the game and almost beat us. You can't let this happen. It's playoff football getting ready to come right around the corner. You got to start putting your throat down on these dudes. Like, you cannot, once you put the gas pedal down on a team, the Longhorns, shout out to Colorado Longhorns, they know exactly what I'm talking about. You cannot let your foot off the gas. You have to just keep coming out there, same play, snap after snap.
And Justin, this is where I get
drive after drive.
And Justin and Rob, this is where I tend to get in an argument with other people in our fan base on other platforms. I'm like, I want to get excited. We look good on paper. Looking good on paper doesn't always work out and stuff like that. And
I agree with
then
you.
They say, I understand the talent is different, but we had a whole bunch of talent. I think the last year of Adam Gase's tenure in Miami, and
you're right.
We completely missed the playoffs. So I don't want to get my hopes up and then get my heart torn out because this team is
exactly. Not only that, but just like last year, we had a lot of talent last year. The team we have last year is now more talented with what we've added this year.
No, I agree.
Would you say that, Anthony?
Right? Yes.
Okay, we're more talented than we were last year. How many games did we win last year? 9?
9 games.
Okay,
good morning, Vito.
Don't you think we've added Vito, my dog? What's up, dude? Don't you think we're talented enough to say we've added maybe 1 to 2 more wins to that win total?
Yes.
Okay, we probably are. But just like you just said, Anthony, which I agree with 100%, paper is just paper, you guys. What we look like on paper now, we're like, oh, we got this guy, we got Ramsey, and we got Hill, and we got Waddle, and we got this, and we got that. That's great. It all looks great on paper, but how does it work on the field together? We won't know until we get on the field, the chemistry starts to happen, and you start to see what's going down.
And the podcast spoke perfectly. Just because we lose the first game doesn't mean the season's over. But what we have to do is avoid the extended losing streaks that we had
and
last
Justin,
year.
I said this too. Like, when I look at the way Fangio runs his defense, people say the corners are going to lead the team in interceptions. X and Jalen.
It's going to be
with how he uses a safety position specifically. I think Holland is going to lead the team in interceptions.
It's going to be the safeties. I think the safeties for sure.
Yeah, because when was the last time you can remember a corner leading Fangio's team in interceptions? Besides,
no. I mean, he's safety. You know, he likes his safeties.
Yeah,
mixing his defensive back.
No, because like the last guy I can remember is when he was coach. He was coach. I think he was on the. He was coaching the Broncos the rookie year for what's his name, Surtain Jr. Pat Surtain Jr.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if he was there that year.
No, but like I said, in general, when you look at his defenses, he's never had a corner leading the team in interceptions. It's mainly the safeties, and this is why I'm saying I think Javon, if that happens, I think he's an All-Pro.
I hope so, because that's what we had the expectation for Javon, and then last year he kind of fell off in that defense.
Because he had to cover for a rookie. Let's be honest, he had to cover for Kader Kohu making mistakes and stuff like that.
It's funny.
Fans forget that. That's why his production dipped from his rookie year, because he was covering for a rookie his second year because the rookie was our veteran guy refused to play.
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry,
BJ.
It's funny that you bring up the safeties thing, Anthony, because it's nuts. I think the Cam Smith draft choice has a lot more to do with what you're talking about than the meets the eye. Okay, because if you have somebody out there who can play another boundary corner now, that leaves you to move Jalen Ramsey around to play the star, the jack, the rover, nickel.
Yeah.
You're going to see Jalen Ramsey playing safety back there.
With Jalen doing that role, basically, does that mean a guy like Brandon Jones maybe gets traded? Because
I could see that. Yeah, why not? I mean, you already have Deshaun Elliott, and right when he brought in Elliott, I was like, damn.
And we have Veron McKinley.
Yeah,
don't forget
Veron,
McKinley.
Exactly, about the general back there. Honestly, they're both kind of the same player, in my opinion, in Elliott and Brandon Jones. I think Elliott's maybe
a little bit better in coverage.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Slightly ahead of him in coverage, honestly. They like to use him in like the court, like a quarters look, and like, you know what I mean, an extra.
And this is for me. This is why I wanted to draft the kid from Texas A&M, Johnson.
Oh, because, Antonio Johnson.
Yeah, because his coverage. He was one of the best coverage grades by PFF coming out of the draft at safety.
Right. I think we're good at safety, man. The one thing that I will say about it is now with Jalen Ramsey, obviously we're talking about Jalen Ramsey playing some stars, some safety, some too high looks with Javon Holland. We don't have anybody like who take over the Eric Rowe role, like someone to take away the tight end. And now that I'm saying that, you just think about it. Well, Jalen Ramsey's going to do that role now. So that's another reason why I think the Cam Smith.
And I think X has a big bounce back year because he doesn't really have to do man to man is really not a conducive thing for an older corner.
No, you're right. Another thing too that we need to think about is if my mind is right, and I think I'm right, and Cam Smith is going to see a whole bunch of football, a lot of snaps out there, then you're going to obviously see that him put into the safety role, and Jalen will be playing a lot of safety with Javon Holland. So it's going to give us. I said this.
I think both Achane and Smith start day one.
I can see it. I could really see it, bro. I think that's probably the thing. Like, I think Cam Smith is going to see a lot. And if he does start over there, think about it. Xavier Howard on one side of the football field, Cam Smith on the other side with either Needham or Kuho locking down the slot. A lot of footballs are going to start going over to Cam Smith's side of the football field. So he's going to get, tested early and often.
Yeah, you guys are right. And just remember, you're watching Dolphins Thursday. Make sure you give us a like and subscribe. And for all of you guys that have come in today, here's a little share for you guys. Thank you.
I'll jump off, guys. Oh, when is your guest coming on?
Wait, hold on, Justin. I fixed a little flaw at week 11. So
I see it, bro.
It was like this, but yeah. Now I got the right answer. So, and I knew it. I was doing that like me. I was past. Oh, Anthony fell out on us. Oh,
yeah,
Anthony
he had to take off.
But that's fine.
When the guests were going to come in, that's a great question, Anthony. I don't know. They were supposed to be here already. Something must have happened with those guys. They're both my buddy Clee, who was going to be here, James Cleveland. He works a busy schedule, so something maybe happened. He got called into work, and my other buddy, who's a Dolphins fan, my boy Black Jamal Davis, is he's in the Army, so who knows what's happening over there? They could have them on some sort of blackout, or things like that happen in the Army.
Yeah. Anyway, if you guys want to come in and talk about your take on the Dolphins, I added that link. Ask for again. I'll put it back there. Anthony, if you're still listening, thank you. I didn't mean I just had to I always forget to say like and subscribe. So. But yeah, it's no problem. And anyway, we're talking about the Miami Dolphins schedule, and you guys are watching Dolphins Thirsty, and this episode's called Dolphins Chatter. Everything okay, Justin? I know you got some.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah,
it's
just some damsel in distress stuff. It's like my daughter's in trouble at school. You guys know how it is. So.
Oh, I know. Well, I have 2 sons, but yes, I know how it goes. So. But anyway, I'd like to there. I would go. My thoughts on the schedule is there's no excuses. This team must win at least 10 at a minimum and better, hopefully 11. And, there's no give me's and there's no there's not one game I look on there and say the Dolphins can't win, but there's no game on there I look at and say, oh, all the Dolphins have to do is show up and win. So you just have to play every game like it's a playoff game through the season. Take it week by week, like they say. I know it becomes cliche and boring, but you really do. You got to take it because if you play it like, oh, you got to win this game and then you lose that game, then what? Then the season's over. You're going to have that mentality. So you got to just play each week. You want to win every week you show up. Every time they step on the field, they want to win. But it's not going to happen unless you're the 1972 Miami Dolphins. No team has ever ran the table and concluded with a Super Bowl victory. One other team we know ran the regular season, but then they choked in the Super Bowl. Let's see. That dude Evan from the other show is so funny. He likes the Dolphins, and every game well, I don't think about that, but yeah, he is. That's why he's on the bandwagon over there on the Fins Talk Sports Network.
Who's
Good
that?
guy.
Who thinks
But
they're going
I tend to be a homer side too. I hate looking at a game like that. Eagles game stands out to me. If I had to say, oh, we're gonna, maybe lose a game. Oh, I got the wrong schedule back up there, man. I got to delete that one.
Yeah, you got the first one
wrong. There you go. So then when you go to that Eagles game on Sunday night, to me, that's almost a very tough game to win. And if I was going to bet, I wouldn't bet on the Dolphins. I would tell you that much right now. But with that said, they're still capable of going in and beating them. But I'm going to the game. I'm going to the Panthers game at home. Used to have season tickets, but I gave them up because of all kinds of stuff. I'm going to the Panthers game at home. And I kind of picked that because I said, well, I want to go and have at least a win when I make my return, because I wasn't able to attend any because of my medical condition last year. I wasn't able to, so I had to give up. But that's for a story for another Weeping Heart show. So, but I couldn't go to the season ticket route anymore between families and medical stuff. So I went all in for this game. Last year I missed all the home games, but that's why HDT.
Yeah, it's not your fault.
Thing, and no waits at the bathroom and. Not any $20 popcorn bags, so it's all good. But I'm going to that Panthers game. And yes, the fan in me picked that game because I want to go on a game that I think, because my son and my wife are going. My older son can't make it. He's up in Florida, but we're going to that game. Already got the tickets, and I'm looking forward to it. And yes, I picked it because I was thinking, oh, that's a good game. You might have a good chance to win. And I'll be on it. Which means we're probably going to lose that and have a run of beating the Eagles, the Patriots, Kansas City, and whatever. Because that'd be so Dolphins. But, you just can never, ever, ever. And wow, you can talk to us and as I delete this other one so I don't make that mistake again.
Oh, you're good. I was going to say.
I would ask your thoughts on the last 5. Do you like the 4 of the last 5 being at homes, regardless of the opponents, but just the fact that they
don't have to
travel during that stretch?
Yeah, it gives you a chance to set up to make a run for the playoffs. Like I was just going to say there when you were talking about the going to the game and the schedule itself, my boy Rob is a hardcore Dolphins fan, you guys. He didn't give up his season tickets willingly. It was from an unperceived medical condition that he doesn't go to every single Dolphins game now, or he would be there, he would be there. So he's hardcore. So just know that. Yeah. He picked the game to win, but that's because I would have done the same thing he did. You're paying good money. You want to see a win. You want to see a win to get in there. But I will say this about the schedule. And then I'll try not to ramble on too much like I tend to do about my Dolphins because I love them so much.
Yeah,
but the first 9 games you have there, right? The Chargers, Patriots, Broncos, Bills, Giants, Panthers, Eagles, Patriots, and then the Germany game before the bye week. Okay, that's 9 games. If you can get 5 wins out of those 9 games, I'm going to be really, really happy with that. 5 wins out of the first 9 games, I'll accept it. 5. Okay. You need 5. Then you got 8 games coming off the bye. Okay, 8 more. Okay. You need 6 out of those 8. That's what you need to do. So you need to get a win coming in. Chargers.
Close strong.
Yep, close strong, bro. So I went. You seen how I did that, right? The first 9, I'll take 5. The last 8, I need 6. So you got to bring it. You got to really bring it down the stretch there. So these Jets at home, Dallas at home. Who was the next 2 games at home? Sorry.
I would get to G-Man. Oh my God. Hold on. I'll get that off there in a minute. I just hit something wrong back end. At least you guys can't see that part. Let's see. I got all the coding and there was coating on them. I'm like, what the heck did I hit? But anyway, there you go.
Then you have the Baltimore game, which potentially could be cold weather as well. Then the Bills at home. You got a chance to close strong right there, dude. You need to win coming out of going into that Germany game is more important now than you really think.
Oh, no, why it's almost like a benefit to the Dolphins because it's not.
It is.
Because going into Arrowhead Stadium, that sea of red that they have,
exactly.
and
I was going to say that it's almost like a neutral site game. They say it's a home game for Kansas City, but in reality, it's in Germany. Like, no one's getting a home field advantage in that game. Nobody. Nope. So the Dolphins are actually getting a kind of a piece of luck handed to you right there. Take it, run with it, bring it to them in that game. Go into the bye, leave everything on the table in Germany. I mean, you got to all hands on deck, empty the boat, empty the tank, going into the bye, get healthy. And then when you come out of that bye, I want Terminator eyes, bro. I don't want no dancing on the sidelines after a score. I don't want no waddling around after a touchdown. I want you to run up, hand the ball to the ref in that.
Like you've been there before.
Like you've been there before, and get this cold look on your face when the cameras come on you for the screen. This Terminator look like Mike Singletary used to look at.
So in your book, they won't celebrate until the graffiti's following on them at the end of the Super Bowl.
Until you're holding up the Lombardi Trophy, baby, you don't celebrate. It's all business, dog. After that week, that bye week right there, to me, it's all business, bro.
Yeah. Oh, no, after that bye, you come home, you play a Raiders team, like I said, that you are very, they're a tough team too, but you should be able to match up well against them, and have a good chance at victory. But then at Jets on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, that's a tough game up there. At least it's not a Thursday. It's not Thanksgiving night game or anything. It's actually the first ever Black Friday game in NFL history. So at least Dolphins fans, that'd be a trivia question down the road from my website, dolphinthirsty.com. Who played the first ever, game? So, and then you're at Washington, another. Like I said, this is the NFL. It's not Alabama playing the Sisters of the Poor division.
That's got trap game written all over it, bro.
And so it's just like another one, but a game that you should be very competitive. That's how I say. Not a game that you should win because there's none of those in the NFL, but it should be that you got a competitive advantage. That's the word I would look at.
Absolutely. I love the way you just said that right there, because everybody that's on the schedule right here, I don't care who it is, it's any Sunday in the NFL, you guys. Any one of these teams is capable of beating you anywhere. I don't care if it's in their field.
Or a bounce of the ball, a controversial call, anything can go, turn the tide of a game.
A bad call here or there, and next thing you know, just like last year in the snow where the refs, the Zebra Squad went and took Josh Allen and the Bills by the hand and helped them win the game. Yeah, like that.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. I know.
So you got to leave it, and that's why you say don't take your foot off the gas.
Never take your foot off.
Don't let the referees have a chance to decide it at the end. You decide it during the first 58 minutes of the game.
Dude. You just go out there and handle business on the field. But that last game, my buddy Chris, what up, my boy?
Is he a Colorado Longhorn?
Yeah, he's a Colorado Longhorn. Actually,
hey, if you want to come in, Chris, drop a link for you. Talk about your guys' game tomorrow, because we've hammered the schedule pretty. What's that, Justin?
He's actually our long snapper. He's a coach player now. He's suiting up and going to come in and help us out because we need him.
I know you told me. And hey, man, I'm 53, and yes, I'm tired of the losing as well. So we're both in the same bracket. Not really old enough to remember the Super Bowl winning years, but old enough to remember the Super Bowl losses. So yes, I am with you.
I'm not as old as you guys, but I'm tired of losing. I'll be 45 this year in September. But like I was saying, we all know what's going to happen here. Even looking at the schedule, when I first looked at it, we all know who the king of the AFC East is right now. We all know who we're going to see to the end of the season, and we all know what that game is going to come down to. It's going to come down to the division, Week 18, Bills versus the Dolphins.
I would love it if the division's on the line at that point. Everything. Winner takes all, buddy. Winner takes all. I would love it.
I was just going to say, that's what's going to happen. You got this recorded. This is documented right here. Anybody could go back and be like, damn, that dude was right. It's going to happen, bro. It's going to come down to the Bills and the Dolphins. Week 18, winner take all for the division. It'll be the last week of the season to decide it, and that's how close that division will be again.
Yeah. So anyway, Chris, if you're still listening, I dropped a link if you want to join there on the link and, give us your opinion on everything. That'd be awesome.
See, it's crazy how they did us right here. Look, I just was looking at this. This is nuts. Like, okay, you have the Jets, right, on Black Friday. Then you play at Washington. Then you got Monday Night Football versus the Titans. Then you got the Jets again at home. Do you see? So they gave us those division opponents real close to each other. And then, look, they spread out the Bills week 4 at Buffalo. Then I think this sets up good for the Dolphins, you guys. Then at home, the Bills at home.
Right. We don't have to go up there in the cold.
No, now you get this game at home. It's going to be nice. You're going to get a home field advantage. You're going to get the home crowd. Now, can you take the momentum and use it to your advantage? Because that's something the Dolphins struggle to do.
Well, Buffalo's happy. If they had to come to Miami, that's when they want to come. It's not as hot. Still would be hotter than Buffalo, but won't be as hot.
Yeah, but we let them take over that one bar down there in Miami.
Like, I know. Yeah, it's actually like Fort Lauderdale. I know. I won't. I mean, patronize that bar because they let the Bills fan.
Why the hell would you even let them in the bar?
I know. It's all about the money. I understand being a local business, but man, I was like,
not when it comes to these colors, dog. Yeah. It ain't about the money. It's about the heart.
Okay, I got Coach MJ coming in, Justin. You can introduce him.
Oh, cool. What's up, man? This is my buddy right here. My buddy Chris Mountjoy, that we call him Coach MJ. He runs the special teams and he helps with the offensive line. And he now is helping us play a little bit of offensive line, defense, wherever we could use him. And he's our long snapper. What's up, Chris? Welcome to the show.
What up, guys? Morning.
Welcome to the show.
Morning.
Appreciate it. If you guys, Justin, you can tell them, or Chris, one of you can tell them a little bit about what the Colorado Longhorns are for our Dolphin fans that are saying, who's the Colorado Longhorns?
You can, Justin, or I can. It doesn't either which way.
The Colorado Longhorns are a semi-pro football team that plays in the CFL League. We're going into our week 2 game here. This is our home opener versus the NoCo Nightmare. It's going to be, like you see right there, this Saturday at 6 p.m. at James Irwin, which is at, I think, what is it right there? The address, 5525 Astrazon Boulevard, which is in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Come help us support the team. Come out, get yourself a beverage, bring your family, bring your wife, come check out some football. It's great hitting football. We had a great game last week versus the Phoenix, which we basically got robbed on. But that's for another story, another time. But it's on to week 2 versus the NoCo Nightmare. We're all excited for the game here. The weather hasn't been really cooperating down here in Springs, but we're ready to get this thing rolling.
Yeah.
What you think, Chris? You think we're ready to get this thing started this weekend?
I think we're ready all season. A little bit more background about the Longhorns and stuff. We've had multiple teams come out of the Springs, the Flames, the Cyclones, the Renegades. I'm sure there was more, but prior to that, this is kind of a combination of all the teams put together in one city, representing one league, one area of Colorado. So, with the combination of all the teams, all the players, we all come from different backgrounds. A lot of these kids, I won't call them kids, these young men,
right.
They haven't necessarily had the opportunity to go to a higher level of play, be it that college, JUCO, regular college, D1, D2, D3, or arena football, some sort of pro. So this gives them the opportunity to put themselves on the map. And, like Coach Justin said, there's a lot of young men with a lot of talent.
Absolutely.
I'm 41 years old and I still play.
Wow.
We have, I think one of the youngest kids on the team, I think is 19 or
yeah, he's like 19
18
years old.
Yeah. And I always joke around. I'm like, hey, with the coaches, I'm like, he still has Similac, he still has formula around his mouth. He hasn't gotten that experience of life yet.
It's true.
He comes through.
He's a hitter.
He's a hitter.
He's a hitter.
With that, last week was a tough loss by 3. there were mild mistakes that we made that had an overweighing outcome of the game.
Right.
This team that we're playing this week is pretty tough. Their defensive line, their linebacker core is very, very solid.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely have some kids with talent on their team also. But I think we're ready. I think our guys have, people think, minor league or semi-pro football that there's not a lot of gym time. There's not a program. We have it. If you're looking for it, we have it.
Wow. So that's cool.
Yep. We have workout programs and stuff like that. I've
Yep.
offered them to the kids. I have an ISSA personal training certification in strength and conditioning. So, if the youngsters really want it, it's free access to them. They get on
That's good to get a little benefit. That's cool to know you. So on a short note, where do you learn how to long snap? Where do you is that something you've always done or you just picked it up recently?
I've done it since it took me about 4 years of high school to learn it. Everybody sees it happen in the pros. Everybody sees it happen in college. The form that you need, the fundamentals that you need is no different than a center. It's just, you're no longer, snapping the ball 3 to 5 yards back. Now you're looking at 7 to 15.
Right.
I did it, for my high school. I did it for the year that I played in JUCO, and then I just did it for fun. I go to practice and mess around, and next thing they're like, "Hey, we need a long snapper," and I'm like, "I know what that is."
Yeah.
And
that's great because it's one of those positions that no one talks about until they screw up.
It's very underrated, bro.
But it's very important because we take it for granted every week. Like, it's perfect snap. But then the minute one goes bad, our long snapper sucks.
And that's the thing is, Coach and I talk all the time. It's not a forgotten skill; it's an overlooked skill.
Absolutely.
I'm 41 years old. Never had an opportunity to snap outside of JUCO. Never had the opportunity to snap in an NCAA game or a pro game.
He could though.
I could. I just need the opportunity.
I've seen him do it. I don't even want to brag about. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I have to boast on him a little bit. I have a video of this dude snapping the ball almost 20 yards, bro. Snapping it back.
We had it at 20, I think 27 when Austin.
27 yards, you guys. He could snap it. It's basically hitting the dude to where he can actually kick it in the chest. He's a great snapper. In fact, I don't want to give away no secrets. I don't want to tell any fortunes before they happen or eggs hatch. You know what I'm saying? But I have been talking to Coach MJ about maybe opening up a long snap camp.
That'd be cool. That'd be good, man, because it's a way for kids to make it. Because so many kids that may not just have this, but something that they can do and learn a skill. And that'd be great because not every team, everyone needs one. Colleges won't recruit maybe one as much, but yet they all need one at the end of the day to have a kid that can just be out there and be able to play. That'd be like I would want that kid on my college team because
we could be fully honest. I'm 41 years old. I can long snap.
Yeah.
Yay. I have zero issues trying out for a practice squad where I can simulate that. You know what I mean? Or like Justin and I have been talking, Coach, it's the youth.
Yep.
Very few young kids in high school and even Pee Wee Pop Warner. We talk about that possible camp thing. But it's not just for long snapping. Offensive linemen, defensive linemen, punters, kickers, because you have to have that chemistry between your long snapper and your holder, or your long snapper and your punter. You have to have that. You have to have that chemistry.
Yeah, no, the Dolphins had a long snapper. Now we got a young guy, but we had one for years, Denny. That was our longest running tenured Dolphins.
It's funny. Yeah, he's from Colorado. That John Denny. He's from Colorado. He's from Greeley. He's from here. So
I mean, he was the longest
obviously
tenured Dolphins player for a long time. So speaking of the Dolphins, do you like any NFL team?
Yeah, I'm an oddball. I grew up in California, so everybody's like, they think here in Sacramento I'm a 49ers fan or a Raiders fan, when they were in Oakland and San Francisco.
Of course.
Or a Chargers fan, and I'm not. I'm actually a Baltimore Ravens fan.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Well, we got you on the schedule again this year at the way down there at the end.
Baby.
Oh yeah, week 17.
Yeah. Week 17
that's
that's such a tough place. Dolphins went in there and got fortunate last year, got on fire in the fourth quarter and beat them. But man, that's always a death spot for the Dolphins over the years. So that's going to be a tough game to go up there.
It's like, what sold me on being a Ravens fan is I was a soldier for in the U.S. Army, and I was coming home.
Oh, thank you for your service.
Oh, you're welcome. A lady, her son was sick, and it was a running back, but he wasn't a starting running back. She had 7 people with her, and he took out his personal debit card and put her on a flight. And he was like, "This is just the way that the NFL does it." And I looked over at him at the time. I like some teams, the West Coast teams. There's a couple of teams.
Right.
I used to be a big Nebraska fan in the 90s.
Right.
When they had their 290-pound kicker, their punter. And that's, that to me was awesome. But to watch him do that and not even blink an eye, I was like, okay, this team may be something different. I'm really about the community and stuff.
Right.
So it was one of those things where I was like, you don't even know this family of 7. It's just a random family of 7, and this lady has to get back for a surgery for her son. And he was like, here's my card.
And who was that again? I missed the name.
I can't remember who it was.
Oh, you just knew it was a Ravens player?
Yeah, he was a running back, but he wasn't a starting running back.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, okay, well, being a soldier, I was like, hey. And then I seen, I lived in Tennessee for a while, so like the Titans were cool for a little bit, and then they kind of just
fell off.
They kind of plummeted,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of the underdog.
Same
with Justin there. He's always telling me he's a fan. If it's not the Dolphins, he's always rooting for the underdog. If it's against the Dolphins, he wants whoever's the favorite team. If the Dolphins are favorite, he still wants the Dolphins. But like all the other times, he's always rooting because some of these draft prospects he talks about, no one even hears, and he's always rooting for the draft prospect that no one even has on their radar. So Justin does that all the time.
But you always see it. Like, I mean, all 3 of us are old enough, like the Montreal Expos. They've had great baseball players. They just never had a great team.
Right.
Now, they're competitive, just like I'll say it, the old Washington Redskins.
Yeah.
They were not a bad team. They were very difficult to play at home. They just got the difficult side of the scoreboard.
Yeah.
There's a lot of teams that are the underdog that come out. You see it in NCAA. You see it in the March Madness.
Oh yeah, all the time.
I mean, number 12's beating 5s.
I know the Cinderella teams they call it.
Yeah. And I lived up by Murray State one year, and Murray State, about an hour and a half from the house, and when they went to the NCAA, they didn't think they were going to go anywhere.
Right.
And they ended up almost winning the thing.
Crazy.
Yeah, it happens. You get these young kids with great talent on these sporting teams, and they produce in a time that that clutch or that pressure, they feel real pressure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like we were just talking about the underdogs right there, and like you said, you have a special place in your heart, and you always root for them. It's funny, but like the tape doesn't lie when these underdogs go out there and put on good tape. Like you can just see that they belong in the NFL, that they can play with these guys. And it's like they're just not being given the same opportunities that a guy from, say, SEC, Georgia, or Alabama is given, that, a guy from Albany or Akron or South Dakota State or something like that's given. Do you see what I'm saying to you? It's
right.
It's a matter of opportunity and what you're going to do with it once it presents itself to you.
No, well said, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You get these young kids. I mean, the draft, people have their favorites. They go by stats, they go by percentages, probability. I know kids that can't bench 225 for 2 or 3, but they run a 4.40. So there's a
Yep.
give and take.
Yes,
And
there
then by the
is.
time their pro day comes around, they're benching 225, 28, 29 times.
Right.
And still running the 4.40.
440.
They're still running it. And it's
Yeah.
I've lifted weights the majority of my life. I've never been the fastest guy on the field. Don't ever plan on being the fastest guy on the field. But it's funny about how like some of these guys can do the work and get that. Every time I've tried to get down under a 4.7 or a 4.6, being 265 pounds doesn't help.
Yeah.
For my I'm not very tall. I'm 5'9", so
Yeah.
I don't have the long legs of a 6'3", defensive end coming down the line.
Right.
That long stride. So, and some of these kids put in the work, and they deserve, the underdogs deserve the recognition.
Absolutely, man. Those are my favorite players, honestly, to get behind and cheer for. Like, I'm a Dolphins fan through and through, but I'm a CU Buffs fan. That's my whole infatuation with Philip Lindsay. So when Philip Lindsay came out and was undrafted, which I had a 3rd-round grade on him, and he came out and the Broncos had him and turned him into what he is today, I was like, I was all for it, bro. That was my favorite player in the NFL. Like, I like players that are underdogs like that, where no one thinks they can do it, and they go out there and prove you wrong.
Well, the Broncos drafted.
I can do it.
The Broncos this year drafted one of your underdogs in Riley Moss. So.
Oh my God, just watch, bro.
Well,
like, I wish the Dolphins would have got him, but it's the best player I had rated on the whole board, and I bet you he proves me right. Just watch.
The thing about Philip Lindsay, I lived in Boulder for a few years.
Awesome, I love it.
I worked at a restaurant called Bar Taco. It's down on the bricks on the outdoor mall. Yeah, I know it very well. I know that I used to eat the food out the back, and I used to cook it.
Yeah.
But you're right. Back it up. Incast comes from Sam's Mills, Montclair State College, D3 to the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. Yeah,
so
that's underrated.
I mean, there are underdogs out there,
but he would come into the restaurant. A friend of his used to work there, and he would come in the restaurant and going, and I've seen the story on him, living with his mom and the different thing that they broadcasted, but he's a very humble person.
Absolutely.
He's a regular person, almost like Keanu Reeves, very personal, very, hey, how are you doing?
Oh, that's a different comparison.
Yeah.
I don't know Keanu Reeves. I didn't know he's a nice guy or whatever. That's cool.
Well, he's very respectful, very, we'll engage in conversation. Where
they don't forget where they come from, is what you mean, basically.
Oh, absolutely. And
because so many people get the big name and they forget where they come from and whatever, So
it's good to hear the grounded. Yeah, he'd come to the restaurant and he'd sit at the flat bar table, and he'd just be like, hey, how are you guys doing? Good. And just carry on a regular conversation.
Right.
Opposed to being like, hey, I'm a pro football player. Like, hey, nice. Hey, go sit over there and mind your business. How someone.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I know you say he just got picked up, but now I know he's down to what, the USFL or something like that. You said.
No, he's on XFL.
XFL. Okay. Yeah. So he's still playing. So that's good.
Yeah.
I don't know why he doesn't get another, because he actually did okay for the Dolphins a little bit. He was here, and then they just moved on from him. But I don't know. Like you guys say, some people get a second chance, and other people don't get many second.
Well, I mean, and I don't know what the difference is really. I haven't looked into the XFL or the CFL and stuff like that. I don't know what the difference is.
Getting paid to play football, so
hey, sign me up.
Yeah.
So I agree. But I mean, it's just like a drop off from the NFL. But the USFL, XFL are probably similar, I would imagine. I don't know.
Well, yeah,
Justin follows all those football leagues. I'm like NFL guy or major college football, or any college football, really, not major college football.
Well, it's like the style of the team. Is your offensive line built for mobility to where your quarterback or running backs can have some blockers downfield that they can get behind, or is it more of I mean, I don't like using this, but the Patriots term where their linemen just stay there and create a pocket.
Yeah, pro style.
You got to find out. You got to find out where where you fit in, and it seems like the XFL is a little faster moving running wise. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Than the NFL is when it comes to running the game.
No, it is. It's like you said, the lines are a little different. They're more built for mobility. I agree with Coach. Like, you got these pro style lines where they're like, you just got to learn your players, and it's like an NFL team, even the Longhorns team. It's just like.
Here's a quick question for your Longhorn guys.
What type of offense do you run on your team? We actually run everything. Coach MJ, you know a little bit more about it, but I know we run a lot of everything.
A scoring one?
Yeah, a scoring one.
No. We run a lot of 2-3 back.
Yep.
We use our tight ends. We use our receivers. These young men have a talent that I would only, as a youth, younger me, would have had the opportunity to have that skill. We have some guys that don't use a fullback too much, but we have the guys to use it if we need it.
Sure.
Right.
A lot of it is I can't really put out too much because I don't know who watches this stuff sometimes.
Yeah. No, I know you don't want to like too much. I know because you got a game tomorrow. I understand. So.
Yeah, we do.
We do a pretty good percentage of both passing and running the ball.
All right, so you mix it up.
We mix it up. We get down into the dirty in the trenches.
That's good.
Yeah,
and Austin. I know Austin. He's your quarterback, right? Austin.
Yeah,
one of them. Yes.
One of them. Yeah, I know he came in on our show one week. So
yeah, we won't have him this week. It will be to our number 2 to Chapa, but I mean it doesn't really matter. Offense will still run the same. But what I will say about the offense, I'm on the defensive side of the ball, obviously, but we practice against these guys, so I see them all the time. Is we have guys who are fast speed route runners that you put the ball in their hands and they will get you the yak yards you need. It's like Tyreek and Waddle on our team, honestly. Okay. And then you got our big receivers who are possession receivers who are sneaky, quick, and strong and can block at the point of attack. We have running backs that are fast. We have running backs that can pound. We have tight ends that are playmakers who make plays all over the field. We got guys.
Yeah, we have some guys that in their first 5 steps, I have taken 10 to keep up with them, and I'm still behind them.
Yeah.
You'll get toast. We have every team has their speedsters, every team has their skill set, their skill players. We have some utility players that may not have signed up for a specific spot. Those guys, one of them is a good friend of mine, and him and I talk every now and again. Outside of football, we talk on a regular thing. But he's willing. We need a left guard. I'll go there, Coach.
I'll play there.
Yeah, I'll play. I got it.
Well, that's cool. That's good stuff.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that. Some of the, like for me, this is the end of the road. This minor league football stuff is definitely. If I get an opportunity, I'm 41 years old, about to be 42 in June. Right, it's not going to be lived very long.
Right.
I wish that there was more of a structure. I know people have bills that they have to pay, but if you do 6:30 in the morning to 8:30 in the morning, that's gym time. That is your cardio. That is all of your cardio, but that is your calisthenics. That is your exercise. That is your grooming for the team. And then, later on that night, you have practice when everybody's off of work. So you're able to go to work and then go to practice. Not everybody's life lines up like that.
No, of course.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of careers that pay the bills and all that stuff, like you said.
And you have guys in the NFL that, they have a family of 4 or 5, 3. Some people don't have children at all. And their family is supportive of them, but also they don't have the financial worry. We're just trying to get kids we get younger men put on the map to where some of these
have any of them ever been picked up and gone on to college and stuff?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. They may not have had the grades immediately coming out of school, so they go to the local college here, Pikes Peak or CSU Pueblo or one of those things, and they get their opportunity because we have the program, Huddle, to put their plays on to where people can come look at them. They can get on Huddle and look. They can come to the game and check people out. It's a lot different looking on film than it is. If I looked at Pro Day on the TV and I see the quarterbacks throwing, I understand. I can see on the TV the distance. I can see how he throws the ball.
Don't see that.
But you can't see it. You don't see the zip
in real life.
Because that camera follows. The camera moves with it. So you go sit in the stands and you're sitting. Say you're 22 rows back, at Soldier Stadium or whatever, and you see the football go, 75, 80 miles an hour as a football opposed to a baseball.
Yeah.
And, that receiver you see the receiver adjust. You see how the quarterback's footing is. Sometimes they show it very well and sometimes they don't, but these kids get the opportunity to get looked at. These young men get the real opportunity.
That's good, man. And they obviously they're playing it because they love the game at this point, so it's
I didn't want to interrupt you, Chris, coach, right there, but we did have a player on our defensive line who just recently had a XFL, CFL, NFL tryout, which was in California. Shout out Big Rob. Rob had a tryout down there. He was a lot of defensive linemen. He told me he was there, and he actually ended up coming in, I think, number 2 on their board. And to the end of the draft here, which was just last week or a couple of weeks ago, I was thinking about Rob, kept talking to him about him. Like, keep your phone next to you, man. You never know. You might get a phone call from one of these teams, an XFL team, anybody. These teams trying to get you for next year or for the upcoming NFL season. You never know. You could get a phone call. He finished second on the board on their stuff. So on a list somewhere out there on a scout, Rob, your name is on his list. So you could be brought back to.
Here's something about Rob. He's a monster.
He's an animal, bro.
He's an animal. He is a very good defensive lineman.
Yep.
I will tell you this. Something that a lot of you look at him and his stature. He is a very big gentleman. He is one of the most humble people I've ever met.
I was just gonna say, he's such a good dude, man. He
tried to pull a spin move on me one practice. I've known Rob for a few, and I had help with the guard, and we put him down when he spun. But he wasn't. It wasn't the game time, Rob. It was hey, we're gonna walk through this, and he was just being silly. Yeah. And he got up and he was like, I was like, okay, okay, I'll let you get me next. Going through the motion, I'll let you get me the next one. But
that's good stuff.
He is a very humble person. If a team were to extend out an invitation to come out and actually try out or walk on, I'll be the first one to tell you that they're getting a quality person.
They're getting an excellent guy.
They're getting an excellent person. Like, human to human wise, he's a great person. Player to player wise, he has great sportsmanship and a great.
Well, I hope he gets his chance. That's all he needs. It sounds like just that chance. So I hope it works out. Well, thank you, Coach, for joining us. And Justin, it's time for me to wrap up here. I just saw the time. You made the time pass fast. I didn't realize I saw it past 11. Thank you guys so much. And like I said, Justin, try to arrange it every week we will have. We can just have a special show just for that, so my Dolphin fans don't drop them here. What the heck are they talking about? I don't know that guy's name. And
I go to school full time. Right now I'm on my in between my spring and my summer classes. But I think that'd be pretty fun to have is a Longhorn.
Yeah, dude, a Colorado
Longhorn.
Yeah, hey, leave it to Justin here. Come up with something. So that'd be awesome. And I would put it on my my network any day you guys want it. So
absolutely.
Well, other than that orange wall he got in his house,
Thank you. Back it up, Ben, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Back it up, Ben.
Hey, thank you guys for inviting me. I really did. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, it was great. It was wonderful. Thank you, Coach. I had a lot of fun too. All right, guys. Fins up. Go Dolphins. And make sure you like and subscribe.
Hit that.